poppin'? It's your boy Cassius Cuvée on a Saturday. We really got it pumping right now, man. Bitcoin's doing its thing. We got a whole bunch of stuff to cover. A lot of coins are pumping, and the weekend is different, y'all. The weekend hit different, you feel me? First thing I want to do is test out this music while we let everybody get in here. I want to see how loud it's coming through the speaker. Let me see here. You know what I'm saying? And we come back to it. We're going to come back blasting. Let's see. It's your boy, Cassius Cuvée, trading every day. Shout out to everybody in the Discord. There he is, my man, Blockchain Cowboy. Let's go. Hey, Blockchain Cowboy, tell me how loud that music is. I'm playing it through. First time I tried this, I'm playing it through this computer, my PC right here that I broadcast on. And it's like on the player. So I can't really tell how loud it is on the output. Trying to check it out here. Oh, I don't know if y'all can hear the music at all. Oh, you hear a little bit. That's just through the speaker though. Okay. That's the echo. We're gonna turn down this. It's all good, man. We're gonna have to. I gotta lower the volume on the speaker here. Switch back to the headphones. Hold on. Because the thing about it is, I wanted to play the music through here. Oh, here. How about this?
It's always the perfect
You can hear this, right?
Catching up to crypto. It's always the perfect time.
I know what got you curious. The games are looking so nice. You should take it serious, cause this could change your whole life, and it will make you furious. Looking at the old price, you could have been luxurious, but you were scared to roll dice. Now it's time to turn the page to catching up to crypto. Gather up with Benno and then snatching up the info.
Put on this throwback.
Acknowledgements and proper salutations.
So much has changed, hasn't it?
With the great devaluation, like the Fed tried to punish me. And
Okay. So it don't sound too loud to me. Even though it's turned all the way up right now.
First gen giants really try to supply it, but it's Satoshi's Bitcoin that got them really excited. A limited stock gets started with the Genesis block. The price is an infinite top if they keep printing fiat. A short course in blockchain, then a necessary evil. More money, more problems. Started messing with my people. I ain't talking about pork. Chapter 8's about eating. If the miners want a fork, then they voting at a meeting, not supporting.
I'm turning down halfway. See, when I turn it down, I can't hear it. But I'm thinking that y'all will hear it turned down. So tell me if it turned down. I turned it down halfway. It sounds okay? It went to the same. To me, it doesn't change. I don't know how. I got to figure that one out at Mel. That's a Mel Studio thing where I can hear it how you guys hear. Oh, okay, so this volume right now in the middle, I've got it at the middle volume. That's the right volume where you can hear me and the music correctly. Blockchain Cowboy? It's a delay. Okay, I got you. All right, so now I know. When I play music videos or anything off YouTube, I will play it off the middle. Appreciate y'all, man. Here we go. We're gonna cut off that video now. I want to show something real quick. Twitter is something kind of funny to me, man. Oh, Buster Rap, Gag Films. Gag Films. Hold on a second. Hey, Twitter is funny to me, though, real quick, right? How come I got 50,000 impressions in the last 7 days and I don't be getting hardly no likes? It's all good. It's all good. We're going to keep it moving. Yeah, I'm going to bust around. How about this? We'll spit something at the end. Stay tuned for the rap. Really what I want to do is just go over these charts real quick. It's Saturday. I know not as many people tuning on a Saturday. Let's see what's on. We could play this one. We could always play this one. We'll cue that one up for later. Yada. What's poppin'? It's your boy Cassius Cuvée on a Saturday, and we trading Bitcoin as always, trading crypto. But this was the place. So for everybody in the private Discord, right? It's one of them days like every day where I wake up, rub my eyes, and see what's going nuts. And the coin we were talking about last night, Jasmine, was the one that went nuts. And basically, it shot up. I had a stop loss in there. I got stopped, and it was, I was talking it through the live stream yesterday, but this is what ended up happening, right? This weekend was looking unpredictable, but damn, it got bullish. You're looking for a good entry on a Bitcoin short or long, blockchain cowboy? Because but if you look, this is what's interesting about this coin in particular. It went long. It shot up before everybody else. So look at this. This is at 3 in the morning. And then Bitcoin and everything else was kind of later than that. Like 3 in the morning was here, still going down. So it was one of them ones when we first got up and we see it shoot straight up. And me and a couple people in the group, someone said he's shorting it. This is 5 a.m. when it reached its peak. Whereas if you look at, Ethereum went up. Ethereum reached its peak at 7:30. And, Fartcoin wasn't running, kind of flat. So what ended up happening was some of these real small altcoins actually front ran and then they stalled out. That's kind of what happened. And that happens sometimes, especially on the weekends. Somebody, I can't remember who it was now, where they were like, man, too much low liquidity on the weekends. I don't even trade the weekends no more. Now, I can't help myself. I got to trade. I love trading. I don't got to trade. I try. It's better to be patient. But I'm gonna tap in and see what's cooking at least, And it's interesting because I'm in this Jasmine short right now because it went up so high. I didn't even get the best entry. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not stopped out yet because, I had re-entered. I got stopped out like down here or something, right? I re-entered and I got stopped out. I was asleep. But this didn't continue pumping the way, look at Solana, straight up. So there was a lot of coins that kept going straight up. And let me see. Let's look at Breakout Prop one time. I got Breakout Prop over here. I got Ethereum here. So, yeah, I'm in some shorts right now, man. I don't know how long. I don't know what's going to happen. I just seen this move get stalled out. And now let's look at virtuals over here. Oh, it's already got too much time. Crazy stuff has happened, though, especially on the weekends. So, like I was saying in the Discord, it's easier, I should say, not hard, but it's easier when everything is moving uniform. When everything's doing the same thing, then all you got to do is pick an altcoin that's got a little more beta than Bitcoin in one direction or the other, and then that's how you make your little extra gains. But when things start doing all kind of different stuff, and again, the smaller the coin, the more likely they're going to do its own thing. Look at BCH. Look at this move. Straight up. So normally, the last few days, right, when I was going through everything and we're trying to look at everybody, what everybody's doing, there was a lot of price action that looked the same. Look at this coin, OM. It's just doing whatever the hell it wants, right? And, for me, I got such a good handle on Bitcoin that it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to trade coins that aren't really mimicking it. So when the altcoins start doing weird stuff, it's kind of hard, unless you just, unless you got a great entry, of course, but it's kind of hard to determine. At least I'll put it this way. It's hard to determine like tops and bottoms. Like I wrote, one of the last things I wrote in the Discord, I said, I'll see you guys later, was I wouldn't try to top tick right now. And of course I tried to top tick, but I'm just saying I wouldn't tell other people to try to top tick right now because of the fact that, stuff could just blow up in your face. If you look over here on Breakout Prop, stuff would just shoot straight up every time you think you're catching a peak. You could have caught this peak and then it went higher. You would have thought this was the reversal. It would have went higher. You might have thought this was the reversal. Would have went higher. It's hard to do that when you're in a bullish, like when things are going bullish. So again, this kind of comes back to the strategy. Trade with the trend, right? And this is why I always say, slave to the system, you master the money. When I'm trying to top tick, that's not really being a slave to the system in all honesty, right? When you're trying to call a top, you're trying to get ahead of a trend, and that's, it's just quite simply not as easy. And, again, I'd rather be rich than right. It feels nice when you catch a perfect peak on a short or something like that. It does feel nice, but it also feels nicer to have your bankroll grow. So it's, if you're going to take those risks, though, for the people who want to take those risks, because a lot of us were discussing in the Discord, people are like, I want to get in this short. I know probably some people got stopped out. But this is what I would suggest, and this is kind of a and I'll show it to you. All of my positions that I'm short on have this same approximate thing. I called it out, but I want to show you now. The place you set your stop loss is right above the last wick high. That is kind of a rule of thumb, if you will. Rule of thumb. And you could determine where that is, but it also depends on your position size. But like if this was the last high, like Breakout Prop will show you the last high right here, right? my stop loss is a little bit higher than that. And the reason that the thought process behind that is that, like, if I call myself calling a top, I think I'm calling the top, right? Or this was the top, and, I thought there was a reversal is going to come down. When I say the top, the local top for today or whatever, right? Whatever time frame you're on. If I am wrong, I want to cut my losses quick. You see what I'm saying? And that's the thing. I don't want to keep chasing and averaging down or have my stop loss way up here and lose way more money. And I get it. Scam wicks are a thing. You don't want to get scam wicked. I got scam wicked today. All right, on Degen. Look at this damn scam wick. Oh, let me show you. I got scam wicked on Degen. You know what I'm saying? Right here. It sucked. I'm not even in it. I wish, I wish I had caught it. I was doing it is what it is. It happens. But, like, man, this was my entry. I got stopped here, and I'd be green right now. Now, I don't know. Maybe it'll go back up again, But the point that I'm trying to make is it's hard to – you don't want to keep chasing. It's not worth risking the money. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth risking the money. It's ultimately what it comes down to. So, for example, this to me is like, okay, Ethereum, you got to prove to me that you're ready to take another leg up. Like, my assumption is it wants to do this. Like, if we're in a bull run, or, when I say bull run, I mean, today is morning bull run. I'm thinking, like, this is the 1 minute chart, you guys, right? This is slow. I mean, this is short. I'm not going to tell you don't, because you might be nervous of scam week, but first of all, I'd rather watch it. You kind of got to watch it. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to see the Sunday or Monday sell. I know, Andrew. I'm like, and I was thinking back, this week can remind me so much of the days. God, it was about a year ago, to be honest with you. Spring to summer of last year, where everything was pumping on like a Saturday morning. So my time morning, I'd be so tempted to enter a short at 9 a.m. And every time I did, I'd get stopped. But by like 12 or 1 o'clock, all that momentum would slow down. And then the next day, you could short it all right back down again. I don't know for a fact that will happen this time, but that's what it feels like to me as well. This is a pretty big move straight up on some of these coins. I mean, we'll just start with Bitcoin. I know Bitcoin is Bitcoin, but that's a pretty big, couple green candles. Now, that's not nothing compared. Look at Solana, way up more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're going there. Exactly, and we've been going up. But here's the thing. Okay, so here's the thing. And this is, I won trade since I've been rocking with you guys. You've been rocking with me based upon this. Now, my quote-unquote trend change, look at Bitcoin's green right now. This is the 8-hour, okay, guys? This is the 8-hour. Remember, I caught this perfect entry. Why? Because that second green dot, it was a deep 8-hour green dot, usually the sign reversal. I called it. There's usually a retracement, and then I got in on this one, okay? We're not there yet on this 8-hour. So it's hard for me to say we might not get in one more scam wick. You know what I mean? Now, granted, this is the 8-hour. We're zoomed all the way in. You could definitely make some money tomorrow, maybe. If there's, all I need is look. Here, I'm gonna show you. I have my take profit already on the screen. My take profit just here. What time was that? That was 6 a.m. the last time it was here. That could definitely come back tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I could definitely hit that by tomorrow for sure, or tonight or something. You never know. That's not that big of a move, right? And again, I kind of place this. You see, if we had that volume weighted tool up here, they would show that this line was bigger here. I can tell just by how much price action was moving sideways. So this would be a line of support, and my take profit is like right at the top range of that support. So if there wants to be a quick, sell off or whatever, my guesstimation, this would be a place that it might crash to. So that's why I have that there. And again, that would, that could all happen in a day. It doesn't mean that this thesis of this Bitcoin 8-hour is not right. It could do this. That's only it's only a little bit of move, really. Like I know that's not Bitcoin, but we'll call it ETH. That's only it's only like down to like here and then back up. You know what I'm saying? So it takes a while for 8-hour to roll over. I mean, and get that dot. When I say roll over, I mean like do one of these hills and start coming back down again, right? It takes a while. And the thing about it is, for folks like us who watch the charts every single day, we're often early because we watch them every single day. So think about it. We see something we anticipated coming in, we want to enter our trade. Most people will take them all day, if not tomorrow, to finally see, oh my God, did Bitcoin pump? You know what I'm saying? They find it out hours later. And we're finding out in real time. So it's hard to stay patient and wait for that second or third pump to finally slow down the momentum. And that's where you got to look at Market Cipher and maybe zoom out a little bit, right? Because if you're looking at some of these 10-minute dots and you're like, man, when's it gonna slow down, right? Bitcoin, you keep showing me higher and higher. That's when I got to look at the 1 hour, maybe even the 2 hour, and be like, okay, this came back, went back up again. We need to really give it a chance to slow down. Because listen, the markets run in trends for a reason, right? People get hyped up and they want to just go. And, like you just said, who was on here looking for a long? Was that Blockchain Cowboy? Somebody said they're looking for a long right now, right? Blockchain Cowboy, I think. And, looking for a long on BTC. And so it's like, feels like we're in a long trend. Sure. So it's a matter of you got to wait for all of that upward momentum to slow down again before we go short. Unless you're really short term, which is basically what I'm doing over here on Breakout Prop and on Phemex. Oh, here, let me go on Phemex. So Phemex, so the play here on Phemex is a little bit different. Jasmine does not exactly, apparently, especially not this weekend, it's not exactly following the trend, right, of everybody else. It shot up before everybody else. And sure enough, I'm not saying it can't go up higher, but sure enough, when everything else was continuing to pump, it wasn't, because there else I would have got stopped out again. It already blew its load, basically. You know what I'm saying? It already blew its load early. And so does that mean it can't go higher? No, it definitely could. Clearly the trend is up, right? But my thesis is, my bang for your buck, your dollar risk versus reward, is that if there is a reversal down, it will fall hard. That's the risk versus reward I'm looking at. But look again. I have the stop loss set right here on this blue, you see, which is basically right above this wick. Now, I want to call this out because I know I'm not the only person who's trying to trade this. And T-Teaser too, he was saying he wish they had it in Breakout Prop. They don't have it in Breakout Prop, but you guys, you all have a Phemex account. I know you do if you're in the Discord, because you had to use my referral link to get into the Discord for free. So trade it on Phemex. Phemex is legit. You know what I'm saying? And that's that's one of the big pros of Phemex compared to Breakout Con, is that they have everything. They got all those obscure coins and stuff like that. So use Phemex. Don't wish Breakout Prop had it. Go ahead and try it on Phemex. So anyways, I wanted to call this out, though, because these small coins, they move significantly farther and faster. So like 1 unit of normal, like a Bitcoin trade or whatever, is like 3 units of this, maybe more. You get what I'm saying? Trying to get your lady friend to sign up. That's right. Yeah, let's get some lady friends to sign up. How about that? My Blockchain Cowboy's on his job. It's funny. I talked to so many women per day and only had 1 or 2 jump in here so far. I got to encourage them more to jump into the live stream. But anyways, I'm just saying that this wick from here to here is a lot more money than it looks. And so you either A, start with a smaller position, and or B, you use lower leverage. That would be how you got to play some of these, especially if you're kind of new to the really small shitters. You got to play with a smaller bag and probably shorter leverage than you would on the Bitcoin and Ethereums and stuff like that. Because this price move like, whoa, we're like, wait a minute, I'm already down this much, So that's, and then you'll just, your stop loss is at like minus 50% instead of minus 25% or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Like, because you kind of need the wiggle room. One candle wick will just blow the doors right off it. The good news, of course, is that if you catch that in the right direction, boom, you're down here, making a big profit. So let's see. I'll even show you what my risk versus reward is on this. Let's see. 80 to 190%. So, a little more than 2 to 1 is what I got on here. I'm kind of going a little bit bigger on this one because I'm like, I'm going for it. I don't care. 300. Let's see. I'll lose 200. Woo. That's 239, and then I'll make 567. That's kind of big for this, actually, for this portfolio that we're trading on. Perhaps it's too big. That's fine. I kind of feel like this is it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if this was the top and you say, like, Andrew is all going to fall down tomorrow, by all means. I'm ready for that. So, because I just think this one will fall that much. And then just a little bit of movement equals a lot of money. So you just have to be careful with these, especially if you're trying to top tick. You got to start small. You just got to start small with a smaller bankroll. That's the only real way to go, or else all of a sudden it's going to keep eating into your money. And the same thing for Breakout Prop, because Breakout Prop, you got to trade with the trend. I mean, you got to trade with the trend anyways, but Breakout Prop, same thing. It's going to, these are going to just keep going up until they stop. Right now, we got this sideways action. Honestly, I hate entering on sideways action, and that's kind of what happened yesterday, right? We got a little nothing. It was real boring, and I was like, this weekend's unpredictable. But, if you're going to gamble, you put it on there and you set a stop loss. I don't even like that. I like better when stuff is moving, and then I see the momentum slow down, and then I enter. That's more what I like. The sideways stuff, I hate, because usually this is what happens. This is why. Usually you get a gigantic head fake in one direction to stop you out, and then it goes the other direction, and you're mad. It happens almost every time. I swear to God. If it's flat like this, rarely just goes, I'm going long, yay, or I'm going short, yay, bullshit. It always goes, and then down. So it's like I'd rather just watch it. In all honesty, this is why I like trading the shorter time frames and just watching and waiting and just waiting. And it's boring. That's why I said yesterday, I was like, man, I want to just like live stream how I scalp, but it's like most of the time spent will just be boring, because the real way is not to force any trades or rush any trades. I'm just sitting there watching, and I'm waiting for one of these wicks or something like that is what I'm hoping for, unless you really believe it's the bottom and you're trading with the trend. So when I'm scalping, I'm trying to top tick. I'm not going to lie, because I'm looking deep into Market Cipher. 10-minute candles and stuff. Bitcoin, it looks like it wants to kind of roll over, but look, this line right here, if it doesn't break this, it is definitely rolling over. I remember Crypto Face told me, he's like, what you looking for is curves, like curves on a bitch. He's like, it's rolling, looking for the curves. And there's truth to that. The curves, it starts rolling over, but it doesn't happen like, you get one more of these, you know what I'm saying? This wick here. And then that's where you want to enter, if you can. Maybe this was the wick. This looks like a double top right now in Bitcoin. This guy really don't want to go in here. He ran out of buyers. That's just the honest truth. Like, the mechanics of the market is eventually you'll run out of buyers or sellers. And then you consolidate, and then everyone decides it's time to go in the next direction, and the momentum picks up again now in the opposite. But that takes some time. We had such a fast move to the upside this morning. Trying to top tick that is a fool's errand. And again, I've been that fool plenty of times. Trying to top tick it, because it does this. It goes up, and then you're like, yay, and then it goes up, and you're like, damn, and then yay, and then it goes up. You see how many times it did that along the way here, right? So it's hard. Even here, you probably really thought you were smart here, and then, and then you got scammed again, right? So scam wick. It's not a scam wick. It just, the trend was not over. And you just got to zoom out and say, look, this is not done yet. Look how epic that green is. We haven't seen green to the upside like that in a while, since way back here. This is February. But when it falls hard. Oh, one thing I wanted to call out and point out for you guys is I got too many drawings. You look at those. Is the Heikin-Ashi candles. This is a Crypto Face, and some other people use these. That you trade with the trend with these. I didn't mean to click on that. And they show you the trend. I won't say that you always trade with the trend. Gosh, I remember how to. I'm about to say, where the heck? Oh no. I can't even remember how to put them on here. I always use them on the phone. Oh, here we go. No. I have totally forgotten how you turn on Heikin-Ashi. I usually trade Phemex on my phone, and I forgot how to turn them on. Where do you turn on the Heikin-Ashi candles inside? Is it here? Here we go. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Where are my candles? There we go. I got them. Yeah, I know I have them starred. All right. So this shows you they trade with the trend. So they're an average, basically. So they're basically, you can't. I can't use them to trade as precise as I want to, which is why I don't use them. But just to kind of show you a trend, right? According to these big Heikin-Ashi candles, our trend is still to the upside. Now, does that mean we didn't find the top here? No, maybe we did. But this is telling me that this is a strong trend to slow down. Trends like this don't just like all of a sudden just turn right back around and all of a sudden just go straight back down again. It just doesn't happen like that, you guys. It just doesn't happen like that. Where is my pencil? Man, everything got. I was over here drawing pictures and stuff yesterday with tools I like pretty much never use, and now I lost all my stuff. Where is it? What the heck? Where the hell is my brush at? Now I'm just determined to find it. Anyways, all I was going to say was that this is going to take a while to roll over. It just is. Like, we're not seeing this level for some time. It will roll over, and then it will do some of this before it comes back down again, you know? So anything, when I'm trading counter trend, which is basically what I'm doing now, I'm looking to take profits pretty quickly. You know what I'm saying? All set. You touching grass today, huh? Hey, I'm basically looking to take profit quick on a counter trend. In fact, I mean, probably should be waiting to buy the dip, perhaps, except for that, God, this move has been so big that it's possibly run out on us now. Oh, it was right here. That's where it was. I was like, what the heck? I know I had it saved. So that's all I'm saying about that for Bitcoin. To turn around, not saying this isn't the top or local top and things can't come down to here or whatever, but it just takes a while for momentum to slow down. So when you're trying to top tick, you're going to get stopped out a lot, and you should have tight stops just in case, because you don't want it to cost you a lot of money and it'll add up. And just honestly, just wait. Like I started saying at the beginning, when those Saturday pumps were coming, I learned to just sit back and wait till the afternoon. Go make breakfast, go work out, go do something else. Don't even look at the charts. It's like, is it all clear yet? Are you guys done going up yet? Is it ready to enter a short? Like, don't even try to top tick when things are going straight up. Wait, because here's why. This is the real truth. You're going to get another chance, right? Like, perhaps this wick is the top of Bitcoin, right? Let's say it was. And you missed it. You chase down here, but then you get stopped out because then this wick comes, right? This one here. I bet you this isn't even the bottom. I bet you it does one more of these before it comes back. You get what I'm saying? Like, you find an entry on a retrace. You go fishing when you want to touch grass. I was just thinking about fishing the other day. I used to go do a lot of fishing when we were younger. We scattered my brother's ashes at our favorite fishing hole, as a matter of fact. I caught the monkey face eel off the coast of California here. We definitely do some fishing, but also out in some freshwater fishing too, not just the ocean. Anyways, yeah. I want to touch grass and go fishing. I touch some water. I did go swimming the other day, though. We got Maxi Labs in the house. I think this is a new person. Girl on the live. Question. Right on. Hey, thank you. Got some women up in here. Right on. Question. Okay. Tracking candles. Quantitative data. What do you know about qualitative data? Well, we're doing technical analysis, so that kind of information is really kind of different. I don't really focus on much but the technicals. In general, I'm going to focus on the sentiment, I would say, just like you can kind of pick that up by being on Twitter, watching the news and stuff, but more so the technicals. I trade a really short term. So I'm mostly focusing on what I see here on the momentum waves and stuff like that. You can use both. You can use both. So my whole thing is I try to make everything simple. There is so many indicators. Oh, my God. Like, there's just so many. These are just my favorites. You know what I'm saying? There are so many indicators. Even just what I have open right here. I got all of these blocked off. What ends up happening when you have so many things is that you end up getting conflicting signals, and that can throw you off. So I kind of settled on, after doing all this so much years of research, I kind of settled on making it as simple as possible. So for me, what that meant was developing a system for short-term scalping using basically just the Market Cipher momentum waves. Even Market Cipher, that's one indicator, but really it's got like a dozen indicators within its one indicator that you purchase. And it's like, even all of those, I mean, I know what they do. I like looking at them sometimes, but they'll throw you off sometimes if you get caught up focusing on one that puts things out of order. So ultimately, everyone should develop their own strategy. I mean, that's what I really am trying to preach here, because I came up with my system for the 1 hour, 10-minute wave scalping strategy, which let me see. I can show it to you today, right? So basically what we're doing here is I try to find a ticker that's been giving me some volatility, right? Let's see Fartcoin or something real quick. Everything got flat after it shot up today. Let's see Tron. Here we go, TRX, right? So what I do is I'm looking at these 1 hour waves here. You try to find something that's been going like this. So these are the 1 hour waves on the Market Cipher B. This is the momentum waves. These are the oscillator down here. What you do is, first you're going to see a green dot. If we're going longer, we're going to see a green dot first. Then what you do is you zoom into the 10-minute, and then on the first green dot, the next green dot is when you enter your long, and then you ride it up until you see a red dot, and then you get out. Next green dot, get back in. Next green dot, next red dot, you get out, And you just keep waiting, doing that. And what happens is you eventually catch one of these big ones, just like this here, right? In, out, boom, you caught this, and you got to ride this all the way up until you hit that red dot, and then you waited. And what it does is it protects you from the downside risk. So that way, if you always get out when you see the momentum shifting against you, you'll never lose that much. So there's a thing they say, we like to say, take small wins, small losses, small wins, small losses, and then boom, you catch a big win, right? When whoever got in on this green dot, boom, they rode it all the way up. That big win, you saved yourself from this downside here by getting out. You saved yourself from this downside, but then when you got back in on this green, you made it back up. And basically, you're batting singles when you're scalping. Batting singles, and then 4 singles make a home run. That is my favorite strategy. It is not the only strategy, but that one requires so few other indicators that it just makes it simple. And also, when you're scalping, you don't have a lot of time to look at a bunch of moving averages and stuff. Like I have, these are the EMAs and stuff, but you don't have a lot of time to wait for confluence on like 5 or 6 things. I'm just going by momentum. So it really comes down to whatever strategy you want. You can always do both there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do, but it's pretty much unlimited. There's an unlimited amount of strategies. But my whole thing was just trying to simplify it so that way you don't get conflicting signals. That's really what I landed on after doing trading for so many years. It was just like, man, who do you follow? What do you trust? There's like a million things. You got Bollinger Bands, EMAs, SMAs, VWAPs. There's all kinds of stuff. And for me, it was just like, it's easier for me to predict the future 1 hour in advance than 1 week in advance. That's why I like short-term scalping. That's why these up here on right here, these are the 1-minute charts on Breakout Prop. But that's a good question, though. That's a good question. Fartcoin. This was another one that shot up early. It peaked here, and then it kind of went sideways. So it was funny that these kind of front ran, Jasmine and Fartcoin kind of front ran, Fartcoin the most, of course. And then I bet you a bunch of people, came into it here thinking they're going to get a big pump, and they didn't. Instead, it was like Bitcoin and Solana and stuff pumped, this big pump. Oh, that's virtual, excuse me. Solana. Look at Solana. Whew. It's hard. And right now, when you're seeing a fervor like this, it's like wise to not even try and top tick until you see its momentum play out. You'd rather be late than early on a trade like this. The good thing is, it seems as though once it gets this trend, it's been going pretty strong. I mean, even this was a long enough period of time where you could make some money. It's like a full day. Yeah, Solana's going nuts from down here. Let's see, this is Thursday, just straight up. So I would bet you that when it reverses, it'll do just like it did here, straight down. You know what I mean? Which is cool because, you could just ride it out. Let's see what it looks like on the 8-hour for Solana. Like I say, this 8-hour gives me a great clue on when things are going to roll over. See, Solana, so it looks like, okay, are we near the peak? Maybe, but this is not a sign of slowing down. It's actually a sign of usually things end in one of these scam wicks right here, one of these long wicks. So, if you caught it here and rode it all the way up, you're doing great. But, for entering a short, I want confirmation that at least that we're about to get a red dot here. It's not wise. It's not wise to try to top tick there. Unless you really think that this was the end, then you got to have a tight stop loss. And that's okay if that's the strategy, if you want to have a tight stop loss. I'd rather do a bearish ticker if I'm going to short. That's why I was looking at, I think Jasmine's overbought because it's been very bearish. For some reason, a whole bunch of buyers came in out of nowhere and decided to pump it. Look at this. I mean, it's been going nothing but down. Look how bearish this has been. Straight down. And then you get a pump like this. This reminds me more of this than like a reversal all the way back up to the top. You feel me? That's, to me, what I think. But again, if Bitcoin, something like this is predicated on what Bitcoin does in the greater market. If Bitcoin wants to keep going higher, then this will go higher. Everything, bull market back on. You know what I'm saying? But this looks like a little relief bounce here to me. How much higher to go? I don't know. I sincerely doubt it's going all the way back up to here, though. I doubt it. Seriously. It would take a long time. I'll put it that way. It ain't going straight back up there. That is this trajectory for sure ain't gonna continue. And you know, it's crazy because we were looking at it in the private Discord. If you guys aren't already in the private Discord, it's free to join it. All you got to do is use my Phemex referral code. It's an invite link to sign up. Not even a link, just really the code. It's right here on the screen. GMMNX5. You just use that to create a Phemex account, and then what happens is you get a user ID, and you put that user ID number in my, it'll say verify. So when you're joining the actual Discord, all you got to do is put in that number, and it automatically, it's like a bot. It automatically lets you in after that. So that's how you join the free Discord. But yeah, in the Discord, we were just looking at Jasmine, and we're like, yesterday, first of all, and it was just like going up. You see, I drew these candles, and I was talking about, not candles, the triangles. This is what I wanted to talk about. I forgot. Ascending triangles. I'm telling you, I'm not a big pattern trader. I really actually don't usually like patterns, but this one seems to go a lot. Well, you get a big pump here, and then it comes down, but it doesn't come all the way back down. It keeps bouncing off this resistance. It almost always breaks out. And then it happened again. Basically, I was commentating this in the Discord in real time, and I was like, we bounced off here, and I called it out. Sure enough, boom, came up here. Now, it came back down this far, which was kind of a head fake to the downside because it went back up. But still, I'll put it this way. If you're trying to short and you start seeing this happen, you might want to just get out. You might want to cut your losses. I swear this seems to happen more times than it doesn't. You get this breakout. Sometimes what I started learning to do is like, I'll just wait for the breakout. And once that momentum happens and slows down, because I'm looking, zoomed in, 1 minute chart, I'll get in there and ride it some of it back down again because it's such a straight up move that usually there's a pullback. But in this case, you didn't want to hold it. You see, I got stopped out there, and now I'm back in it up here. But it seemed like it just ran out of buyers, right? Like, how many people are left to make this coin keep going higher after all this? It feels like every Jasmine buyer in the whole market is put its money in and looking for new buyers. And it's like, I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. We will see. I kind of doubt it. And it kind of proved it this morning by it pumping way before everybody else. It peaked at 5 a.m., but things like Solana peaked at 1 p.m. You get what I'm saying? Everything came. Where was Solana at 5? At 5 p.m., Solana had barely even started pumping yet. And I remember thinking, oh, shit, I'm going to get stopped out of this trade now. But I haven't been stopped out because I got in like here because it just didn't keep pumping, even though everything else did pump. This was one of my favorite coins to short. I'm actually shorting it in Breakout Prop also. I got 3 shorts open in Breakout Prop. I'm roughly break even on them right now. This one used to be one of my favorite ones to trade. Even when I was wrong, I was right on this one. I felt like I was short it, but it would basically be bullish, but it was so volatile that you could just keep shorting it as long as you took your profit. So I decided, after this run you see I got in about here. I thought maybe this is going to be a reversal quick back to the downside. But, there's just too much upward momentum for anything to just turn right back around and go straight down. However, you see it's been muted after that. Of course, a lot of things have. Put the stop loss right above the last wick high, basically saying, look, either I call the top or I didn't. If this wants to break above this, sure, could be a scam wick. But it's possible that this upward momentum that everything has been seeing since Thursday or Wednesday is going to continue. I mean, we don't even have a red dot on the 4-hour yet. So I have no reason to believe that these things couldn't go higher. I'm just thinking that such a short move today might give us a pullback tomorrow, and then I can take profit. Let's see. I don't even have it. You see, it's not that far down. It's actually, this one's kind of farther down. I might take profit early on it. I just said something because, if it hits when I'm asleep or something, I want to make sure that I capture it. That's pretty much it. We got an epic pump this morning, and like we called out at the beginning, there's a good chance that we see a reversal tomorrow. These weekend pumps, man, there's low liquidity. And I always say, like, when the cat's away, the mice will play. And it feels like that's kind of what's going on a little bit, Bitcoin and crypto, I should say, like, a lot of people are itching to go long right now. Been taking a lot of pain to the downside. And everyone just all of a sudden decides we're going to buy this weekend while no one can stop us. That happens a lot of times on a Saturday morning. I swear that it happens a lot of times. And so I kind of feel like, this pump was kind of fake this morning. It was a big, big pump this morning. It feels kind of fake. Feels a little bit too far, too fast. And that is why I'm short-term short. Do I think Bitcoin's dropping all the way back down to 75K? I don't. I don't think that's happening anytime soon. I'll put it this way. If it does go back down to 75K, I bet you it doesn't get there as fast as we got here from 75K. That's my prediction on that. I just feel like there's too many people who want to go long after that much pain to the downside. Again, it's kind of tough though, man. You know, we got headline news and tariffs, and you never know what news might break or something that can kind of, cause one of these huge candles. Unfortunately, it's hard to predict that kind of stuff, which is why also I like short-term trading, because nothing this big happens on a 10-minute wave, on a 10-minute time frame. That's the thing. You would get a red or green dot before that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like you would know, like if you were trying to short, I don't know why you'd be trying to short right here, but if you were, like, don't fight this green dot. It doesn't happen that big that fast, right? The green dot started here, and it still took a while for that price action to get all the way up to there. That was pretty much all I had for you guys. Just cover this pump, and then you see how it was muted. It happened so fast, and then slow down. I don't know, man. I'm in shorts. That's my position. You guys can see him on the screen here. You can see him on the screen here. But I definitely got tight stop losses because I'd rather be rich than right. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys. We're gonna play out this Algorand. Pay me an algo. This is one coin I don't short. Just I got too many long bags of it. Look how much Algorand pumped. Algorand pumped straight up and came all the way back down again. Ownership of real Web3. I'm going to get mine. On XO charts, hundreds of millions of longs with positions over 30K. The pink hand. That's an emoji. I don't even know if I've ever seen that one before. What do you mean positions over 30K? Oh, $30,000 worth of Bitcoin. Over, what does that mean? $30,000 worth of Bitcoin? Everyone's long on Bitcoin. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, we know the momentum's to the upside right now. I mean, we'd be a fool to pretend like it wasn't after we've seen a pump like this. So, shorts beware. I'm one of those people who I'm looking for a short-term relief to the downside, but I will get out and take my profit. You feel me? Like, I'm not going to sit around and just assume we're going all the way back down again. I doubt that's going to happen. All right, y'all. Have a good night, Andrew. We're pretty much wrapping it up here. That's if you guys didn't know, that's the infamous Lamborghini that Ben is always talking about got stolen from him. Man, I've documented a lot of crazy stuff in crypto in the past few years, man. Since 2021, but really 2022. I've done been all over in this crypto world. See you guys at the Bitcoin conference. I got my pass. I'm already going. I'm already got my hotel booked. All right, y'all. Have a good weekend. I'm still going to live stream tomorrow. So let's get it popping, y'all. Just pay me an algo.